Hi friends, this is Chris with Josephine's Designs. I am back with a health journey update as well as review of things that I've tried in the last month, and I'm hoping that this will encourage you. So many of you know I decided to go gluten-free and processed sugar-free. Now, I will tell you I dropped 25 pounds like that, but the more I started trying some of these things, the more that has evened out. So I have an appointment in March with a nutritionist, and I'm very excited to hear what she's going to say. Hopefully she can kind of teach me how to manage carbs and things like that. I know I need to cut way back on carbs, so I have riced cauliflower in the kitchen and things like that. And so just as an example, for yesterday, the Super Bowl, today is the 13th of February, Monday, we had what's called crack dip, and it was really good. But I will tell you, it was really rich. So with that, I told my husband, well, why don't we get things we can have with it? So he came back with these very thin potato chips. Number one, it did not hold up because they were too thin. I literally had to take like a fork or spoon and put it on it like you're smearing butter or something on it. And even though they were low salt, it was so salty. So I really think it needs things like cucumbers, carrots, things like that. So that would have been a no or low carb alternative. I will try to put the link for that recipe below. It is definitely not for the faint of heart. It is very, very rich to me. The other option with it is you could use it as a spread on top of your raw chicken before you cook it. You put it in there and it bakes on it. And so we just got chicken today, so we'll have chicken with that on it this week. I'm excited. Wednesday, that's our actual anniversary, so I thought, yeah, we'll do it both. So either today or tonight we'll have another round of dip, but I also picked up cucumbers, and I have tri-colored, organic carrots. We'll do that too, and organic cucumbers. So we can have it, but something that is not as heavy and salty. Oh my gosh, it is so salty. So, all right, and you have to excuse my daughter's walking back and forth, taking care of things that I've asked her to do. So she's on a mission to help with our spare bedroom and get it cleaned out, and I'm thrilled. Yeah, that's that. So she's working on the property, and we're paying her for that. So, all right, friends, so I'm gonna move that out of the way and talk about first. I know I've shared about these before, but these are my favorite chocolates. They really, really, really are. I love the peanut butter cups the best. I like the milk, I know, but I have eaten the dark, and it's very, very good. And if you couldn't get the milk, the dark is fantastic. But if you're asking me which one I'd rather have this one. So anyways, but I bought these for my husband and I for our anniversary trip this next weekend. I would highly tell you to consider, and this may come up afterwards, I would highly suggest that you consider. I ordered these off of Walmart.com. I was not happy. So this is exactly as advertised. This they sent in all the little packages of it. I do not think we got the same amount. It's probably the same amount weight-wise, but these cups are a little bit smaller. So I'd have to check that out, but clearly they substituted out. That didn't thrill me, but okay. What I'm finding is the lilies there was a plethora of it at Christmas, and now I can't find it very well. I will learn for next year, and when it comes out a lot, I will stock up a lot. Our HEB will sometimes have it on sale. When they have it on sale, I definitely stock up. But I can't find these very much at all locally, which is where I learned to buy them. So Walmart and HEB, if you're here in Texas. Okay, if I can't get those, there is this. It's a peanut butter filled bar. It is not my favorite, but it's great. I mean, it's still great. It's just not my favorite. It's not first on my list, but it is third on my list. Okay, that makes any sense. So first, second, third. I love those. They're really, 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 really good, and they're easy to do, and it just tastes good. So there's that. I think it's worth doing. I think your best bang for your buck, I think, is these, if I remembered right. I haven't done the math in a while, and things are changing because there's not sales, there's not availability, and when it's not available, you know, what is that? The free enterprise system? Yeah, price goes up when demand goes up. So now, something that I found that I'm super excited about. So I was looking to find Valentine goodies for my husband and daughter. And I found that Russell Stover's has a sugar-free Valentine heart box of candy. Now, I don't know about you, but there's something fun about opening up a box and looking in it and getting your candy. I was thrilled. I was so thrilled I ordered 4. I know. 1 for the trip, 1 for my husband, 1 for me, and if my daughter wanted one. My son and daughter-in-law do eat a lot less sugar as well, so I may just give them the 4th one. And I was just like, So when my husband, we stopped it after church, I had to pick up an order. My husband went into Walmart. He came out and he said, well, what would you like? You know, you want a treat or anything? Yeah, I asked him, I said, bring me a treat. So he's like, okay, but what do I get you? And I said, well, Lily's is always good. Or see if they have the Russell Stover's sugar-free chocolate. Because I'd sent them a video or a screenshot, not a video, but a screenshot of when I found it. I was so thrilled on Walmart.com. So instead, he bought the big bag of candies. Guys, it's the same thing. It's made with stevia, just like Lily's. It's made with stevia. I will tell you, I think that Lily's is a little bit more clean, period. And I do honestly like the flavor of Lily's better. But what I think I'm going to do, because they have a peanut butter cup as well, I think I'm going to freeze these. My husband always freezes candy. I never liked that. But it makes it yummy and you don't go through it as fast. So there are 5 different flavors. So there is a peanut butter cup, a coconut. The coconut's not bad. I had it last night. The caramel is okay. It's just like you get in a chocolate box. It's a square of caramel that's covered. You'll have to hang with me. I'm going to dig through here. The pecan delight was good. Is it like, oh, I can't wait to have another one good? No. But I'll tell you what was really good were the peppermint patties, the mints. Guys, I would buy a bag of those any day. Now, are they as good as Lily's? No. Are they a different kind of candy? So a different mindset? Yes. So I don't think Lily's has come out with the mint. They've come out with like a peppermint within it, a chocolate that, I don't know about you guys, but I love these. I have loved these forever. Now, these are still high in calories. These are 2 for 130 calories, whereas, let me see, this, I think it was 2 for 130, and this is, these are 2 for 170, but these are bigger. These are much bigger chocolates than this. They're a little bit thicker. There's just a little bit more to it. So they're probably comparable. They really are. Now, my only problem when I have things like this, there's no end. I know. So what I did was I loaded them in this jar that we keep our candies out on the table, like treats, my husband and my daughter, for when we watch a movie. And I thought, you know, if they're watching me, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm just not going to go crazy because I'd have to answer. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, the boxes of chocolates, what happens in one of those boxes of chocolates that'll be mine stays with me. I'm not going to share. I'm telling you right now. It's not going to help on the weight loss. But if I am exercising that day, I may let myself have more than just 1 or 2. Yeah, I'm not gonna go crazy because I want that box to last. But the fun thing is afterwards, you have the box afterwards. And we went to a Russell Stover's factory store. I think it was either Florida, Alabama, Mississippi. We drove through all of those back from Florida. And we took our girls, and yes, my husband is a huge candy addict. We came home with a case of candy. It was crazy. It was crazy what we came home with, but we still have those tins. I have all those tins, and they're very sweet. Okay, and I just make my own stuff and put them in it at Christmas. So these are the Siete cookies. Guys, I had them in order. Whoops, these are the Siete cookies. I thought I had one other. I do. There we go. All right, so my favorite is the Mexican wedding cookie. They are fantastic. They are insanely good. They are 4 servings for 150 calories. This is a family out of, I believe, South Texas. I want to say South Texas. but they had a daughter who had a diet change and the whole family switched over. I think I've shared these before, but I may not have shared all of it. So I just decided I'm keeping them and resharing. So I love the Mexican. Those are fantastic. And anybody who enjoys like powdered donuts or something, it's not a powdered donut, but you still get that powdered sugar with it. So sugar, which is so yummy. I don't know what that is, but it's still good. And then there are the Mexican chocolate. Guys, if you haven't ever had Mexican chocolate, it's nothing like anything we've had. It's fantastic. So these are almond flour and coconut sugar, and these are almond flour and coconut oil. So coconut sugar is an unrefined sugar, so of course I use that. I don't use white sugar. I don't use it at all. I use monk fruit. I use coconut sugar. I use maple sugar. I use date. I don't think I found date sugar. Maybe I have. And then date flour. Date syrup. And then I can use maple syrup and honey and things like that. I have to be really careful because once I found those, it slowed my weight loss down, though I don't like hardly use them. So I just think I need to be careful with processed things. I will only buy these on special occasions because these are not inexpensive. But I had them when our son and daughter-in-law came for Christmas, and my son was like, "These are fantastic." And I said, "I know, they are, aren't they?" So now for my son, he could eat all 3 bags in one sitting. Probably not worth doing. But he also eats some sugar, so he can eat the glutino, where I cannot eat the glutino. They just have regular sugar in them. I can't eat them. The Mexican shortbread, fantastic. And these are almond flour and coconut sugar. Fantastic. I'm telling you, and my favorites were 1, 2, 3, and it's personal preference. But these are fantastic. So these are like incredibly fantastic. And these are like the best fantastic, okay? The most fantastic. So you just have to find what works for you. You just have to say, yum. And when I ate these, I did not think of them as Mexican wedding cookies. I just thought of them as wedding cookies. Yeah. So yum, 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 yum. Now it's been years since I've had wedding cookies. Yum. Now, I love Trim Healthy Mama. Trim Healthy Mama does mostly gluten-free alternative sugars as well. She uses some variety of other sugars like erythritol and things like that. I have to be careful with those. If I have too much of those, they can upset my tummy. But she also does a lot with stevia, and I can do a lot of stevia. She started out with 4 flavors of these crackers. So she had a mild, a medium cheese, a everything but the bagel type flavor, and then a plain cracker. Plain cracker, not my favorite. Gonna be honest here, guys. I bought the variety pack when it first came out, and plain was not my favorite. Matter of fact, I've given them, I think, to my son. I just passed them on down the chain, and because he and his wife both were there to my son and daughter-in-law. They are both gluten-free and casein-free mostly. She has a little bit of casein, but not much. So, and they're very specific about the kind of casein they can have. If you can have any, he really shouldn't have any. But I know that there are times it happens. But he can't sit down and eat like a slice of pizza. That's never going to happen. But for this, I really love these. So no inulin, no tapioca fillers, no soluble corn fiber. They're GMO free. They're gluten free. These, I love these. So Trim Healthy Mama has a whole website dedicated to their recipe support. So they sell flour, they sell oat fiber, they sell everything. Their sugars, and then they also sell ready to go snacks and mixes like bread mix, pancake mix. Gosh, the list is crazy, all that they sell. So shakes, all the great shakes. Now they do whey, so their shakes are whey shakes. I want to think they have a vegetarian one, but I'm not sure. So, but I'm just telling you, these guys have great recipes, fantastic recipes, and I will buy these forever. I love crackers. I've made crackers during the pandemic. I know how to make them. I might make them again, but it was a lot of work for me. And I gotta be honest, if these don't get too crazy, I will buy these. These hold 3 servings of 110 calories, or you can do 330. For all the whole bag. Sorry, my guineas are outside. The guineas are outside. My husband's on the phone, and I've got the YouTube with Tim Janice on it for the background noise. You can't even hear it because of the guineas. But I will tell you that, like, I have literally the protein for the total bag is 22. I'm going to be honest. I'd eat a salad with a little bit of vinegar on it, like flavored vinegar, strawberry, whatever. Not sugar, just plain strawberry vinegar. And maybe a little olive oil, not much. And I'd eat a lot of these. I don't think I've ever sat and ate a whole bag of these because they're just too filling. But, they're good. And the total bag fiber is 14 grams. You can't beat that. So, they have 0 trans fat. Saturated fat is 15 grams for the whole bag and 23 for the total fat. Am I thinking that it's good to eat the whole bag? No, I'm not. But I'm telling you, if I were on a road trip and it didn't look like I was, going to stop with the person I was with, I'd let it go. I'd eat the whole bag. Or I'd eat as much as I could eat. My husband's really good about stopping, but like my sister talks about that my brother-in-law won't stop, my husband won't stop. He's pretty good. He won't stop every time you want him to stop, but he stops probably 90% of the time. So I'm really blessed in that area. Okay, these are fantastic. Even my daughter said the gluten-free pretzels are great. And I think they're a little bit more crisp. And if you like a good crisp pretzel, totally worth getting. These are by Snack Factory. I love these thin ones to put dip and things on. These would have been perfect with that dip, hands down. But, so here's a little of the information. And I haven't been showing the nutritional information, but I'll just put it here. If you want to zoom in, you can look at it. I just think there's 5 servings to a container, and the serving size is basically 14 pretzels, 1 ounce. That's a lot. Those are good sized little pretzels. You do not feel like you've been, deprived. So hands down, love these. Wholeheartedly recommend these. Wholeheartedly recommend this brand. This is a reorder, hands down. I'm putting that up because I need to reorder. Now, these are by Milton's Craft Bakers. They are gluten-free, crispy sea salt baked crackers. If you're looking for a saltine, these are not a saltine. If you're looking for something for that dip, they work perfectly. I put out at Christmas cheese and olives and all kinds of like sneaky snack things, and these were part of it. They were basically charcuterie boards, but I just wanted everybody to get what they wanted. And I think that's the beauty of that. I think that these maybe might be a little rich for the bank, but for special occasions or you're going to have guests over, I think they're fantastic. Serving size is 14 crackers. Guys, they're like that big. Again, you get a lot of bang for your buck. You get 4.5 servings in this bag, so you get a little bit less than the pretzels as far as actual amount total. 130 calories. Let's see, 2 protein and 4 grams of total fat. That's not bad. The fiber is 0. So that's something to consider. So when you're eating any kind of carb, it's 0. The carbs on this, though, are 22 grams. And I haven't really talked about that much. So I'm going to start looking. I want somebody to teach me, what I'm looking at so I can learn. Okay, and get ready to come now with some wah-wahs. Thumbs down. Hands down, we'll never buy them again. I don't want to sound rude or ugly. It may be somebody else's cup of tea. These are not my cup of tea. They were grainy and gritty, and I think that some things made with almond are that way. But clearly, like Siete, they were made with almond flour, and they weren't that way. So there's something in the process. Now, who doesn't love a good snickerdoodle at Christmas? If I were desperate for snickerdoodles, I would get this because, I don't know, it did fill that void, I will tell you. But are they the best cookie I ever had? No. If I'm going to spend my money on processed, pre-packaged food, probably not going to get this. And this is a brand called Fat Snacks. I think I either ordered these from H-E-B bought them at Natural Grocer or ordered them off of Amazon or Walmart.com. I want to think HEB, but it was more like the healthier HEBs, yeah, you know what I mean. You get 6 cookies for 160 calories. Now these cookies are like this. So you're not thinking like, oh, I get a cookie. No, they're like that. And they're thick little cookies. I mean, they're substantial. So 6 of them is like 3 regular cookies. It's 160 calories, 4 grams of protein. The carbs are 10, so these are a little bit better on their carbs. And the fat is 14. Yes. Okay, I'm from the era of 14 grams of fat would be like, ooh, shh, don't eat them. Like I said, I might do these like at Christmas. Yeah. So, all right. So I'm tossing that. Now, this I won't do again. Number 1, I make better almond cookies than that. Chocolate chip cookies than this. I use my Namaste flour, which is a gluten-free flour. I also have the Bob's Red Mill. It's a good flour. Even HEB and Walmart have gluten-free flours now. So I just think if you want chocolate chip cookies, get in your sugar, your no processed sugar, get your Lily's chocolates, get a good chocolate chip recipe, and just make them from scratch. And I always say, flat out, oatmeal makes every chocolate chip cookie taste better. And the reason why I love oats in my cookie is I just don't feel like I'm eating total junk, if that makes any sense. Now, almond flour is great because you're getting that protein. But I feel like with the oats, you get fiber too. So I need to play around with that a little bit more. But it is, it's something to consider. If I were on a long trip and I couldn't get to anything else, yes, I would get these. But am I going to go out of my way to get these? Honestly, no. Got to be honest. Now, this is a hard stop. There is no way. I've bought these twice. I don't care for the Simple Mills cookies. These are even the soft baked chocolate chip cookies. I just don't care for them. I don't know what about it. I think they're very gritty. Again, it's that almond flour. If you don't do it just right, it may be because it's the size of the cookie. They're regular cookie size. Maybe that's it. And the Fisietes are doing a little bit smaller size cookie. And so, maybe that's it. Everything has a process when you're cooking with these alternative flours. And you just have to work at it, play at it, see what works for you. If this is all I could get and I were on a long road trip, yes, I would buy them. They're edible. They taste fine, but I think there's better choices. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm gonna let that go. Now, these processed cookies are not helping my weight loss journey at all, and I know that. So they were great for the holidays. They are not great for my everyday. I did make homemade cookies. I made a chocolate chip, a chocolate mint chocolate chip cookie with oatmeal, and what was my third one? I had another one I made. Anyways, they were good. I did them with the little tiny cookie scoop, one of my smallest, and they did not flatten down. So what I will do next time is I will scoop them and then I will flatten them better because they were just like little rolls. They were almost just like a ball of cookie with a flat back. I mean, it was good, but it was different. So that I learned. Now, the last thing I want to share with you is because we're going camping, and we have a microwave in our camper, I ordered these off of Walmart. I'm at Orville Redenbacher girl. I've tried every organic alternative corn out there, popping corn, Amish, everything. It's just, you don't get everything to pop. You don't get big pops of your popcorn. You don't get, I just don't think you get your money's worth. And my husband loves tons of butter. I do not. So these are the naturals. I'm not going to say that I did any better, except for it's 100% whole grain, non-GMO popcorn, which is good, trans fat, gluten-free. I would rather have organic if I could get it, but it is what it is. Now it's 170 calories a bag. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Serving size 2 tablespoons unpopped. Okay, so that's for 4.5 cups popped. I'm not sure because I'm reading this and it's not telling me everything I want to know, like how many servings per box. But there are 12 bags. We popped it last night. That may have been 4.5 cups, but we were using the old popcorn. I'm thrilled to start with this. I'd rather it be with either real salt or sea salt or anything else than just salt. But hey, you get what you get. It's a quickie. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. You are going to pop that in the microwave. You're going to eat it and you're going to be happy. So I really, and my husband and I both prefer homemade popcorn where you pop it yourself. And I love to use that butter flavored coconut oil. It is fantastic. I use real salt or Himalayan sea salt. I use nutritional yeast for my daughter and I. My husband doesn't like it. My husband gets like hot peppers that we grow in the garden. I dehydrate and grind up. So he's the spicy guy. We like the cheesy flavor of nutritional yeast. And because I'm always deficient in my B vitamins, B12 is a great derivative of nutritional yeast. So I love that. Now, guys, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a nutritionist. I just read a lot of articles, talk to a lot of people that are, quote, in the know, and I try my best to find what works best for me. So none of this is a hard stop. None of this is, you've got to do this. No way. Do your own research. I'm not that person. Talk to your doctor first and foremost. These are, some of these are just quick grabs, if that makes any sense. Okay. Last but not least, I have ordered a couple of, and I think I've shared them, Amish cookbooks. Ironically, one of them had gluten-free recipes in it. I could not believe it. I will go back and check my videos, but I think I've shared them already. I ordered an Amish canning and preserving cookbook for beginners. I think that this is a really good basic how-to in canning. I have not spent much time reading it. I mean, it has basic stuff like conversion charts, things like that. But I'm trying to see. It looks like they're doing standard recommended. Yeah, they're doing boiling water canner. So there are some people that will put hot things in a jar, having gotten it to a certain temperature, and then they think if you turn it upside down on a towel, it seals and that's good. Maybe. I just would never in a million years chance that. I would run it through a water bath canner. I would run it through a pressure canner. I would never, ever not can the way I was taught. It's just, you can get botulism so easily. You can't smell it, you can't taste it, and you know, it could be dangerous. So you just have to be really, really smart about those things. Matter of fact, when we were doing massive canning that first year of the pandemic, when we get to the point where we move everything up, I will be very careful on what I keep and what I don't keep. I feel like we were doing massive canning in a very short amount of time, and I do not want to take any chances. Having had food poisoning last summer, you know, we were completely flat on our backs for over a week. We were so ill. I mean, it was the kind of thing where you're just like praying, you know, it's not like a cold or even the flu. You are just begging God to take you home. I mean, either heal me or take me home. Those were the prayers. So I don't want to make anybody sick. So I wanted more recipes, and that was the real reason for purchasing this book. The canning practices, I believe, the Blue Ball, the Book of Blue Ball Canning, whatever it is, all those books are fantastic, and those are what I consider tried and true. I also have a canning book. I think it was put up by the USDA or the Food and Something Association from the U.S. So I don't want to take a chance with that. I just want it to be safe. And if I'm going to go to that much work to grow, pick, process, and preserve, I want to make sure it's going to be healthy. So that's my goal. I still have my tomatoes to do. I wanted to see if there were any more good recipes in here. I trust the Amish. I think the Amish food is fantastic. The only thing the Amish do that I cannot do is I can't do all that sugar. So I'm going to have to read and see if I give an alternative sugar, how does that affect my canning? And so that'll take some research. But basic recipes help a tremendous amount. And sometimes you just make something and you stick it and you fridge can it. you make it to sit in your fridge for however long. I think that that's a good alternative too. I've done both. I've done freezer, preserving as well, or freezer canning, some people will call it. It all works. You've got to figure out what works for you, what's easiest for you, and what will you actually use. The stuff that we canned that first year, we've eaten a lot of it, but we didn't eat every bit of it. So this year, when I had so many of the Armenian cucumbers, I didn't pickle that much because we still had tons of pickles from the year or two before. So I'm not rushing to do things. I've saved all my spices. I can use them again, but I am not running to say, yes, this is what I want right now, kind of thing. I just don't want to go crazy. So this year I will, once we move everything up and I inventory how many cucumbers I have, or pickles, I may or may not can again, and I may just grow enough to eat raw and give away. But I will be doing lots less because last year we were in cucumber. I felt like we were up to our necks in cucumbers, so I don't want to do that again. Same thing with the what I call the Repachik squash, which is the rampicante. I will only plant one, and it will go out where we're going to put the other squash. This year we are going to move some things out of the raised bed and bucket gardens. Okra will never go in another bucket garden because it just splits the buckets every year, because at first it doesn't grow, then all of a sudden it takes off at the end of the summer, and it just will split that bucket because it is such a big plant with tons of roots. Matter of fact, I told my husband, I said, you're gonna haul that baby out, baby. You're gonna get rid of that one and salvage the soil as best you can. And he was like, yeah, okay. He has some new electric cutting devices for trimming trees and stuff. And I said, maybe you could just cut it with that, then move it, and then just dump the soil out, cut the rest of the bucket that's already split, and, dump the soil out and pull the root out that way. And he was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So that's what we will be doing. So is there anything mind-boggling here? No. Is there anything that I probably will cut back on? I won't buy these a whole lot. They are great as a treat. We'll see how they do frozen. I can be an overload. The cookies, probably not going to rebuy those. Siete cookies? Yes, we'll rebuy those. Only on special occasions because it's hard to eat just one, And then the crackers were okay. Pretzels are definite reorder. And of course, anything popcorn our family loves. So that gives you some ideas.